You see, most people are not living a life. They're surviving a swing. Back and forth, caught in this mental tug of war between what was and what could be, between fear and faith, between doubt and decision. And the problem is, they think that chaos is normal. They've been swinging for so long, they've mistaken motion for progress. But let me tell you something, just because your mind is moving doesn't mean you're going anywhere. You've got to stop the swing. Because as long as your thoughts keep pulling you in 10 directions at once, you'll never stand firm in any. One moment you're excited, motivated, ready to conquer the world, and the next you're doubting your worth, questioning your purpose, and entertaining every reason to quit. That's not life. That's mental exhaustion, and it's stealing your energy, your joy, and your clarity. You have to take control of the rope. Your mind is powerful. It will go wherever you let it. If you don't tell it where to go, it'll run wild. And when the mind is wild, life becomes a blur. You start reacting instead of responding. You start rushing instead of thinking. You start hoping instead of doing. That's not the mindset of someone walking in purpose. That's the mindset of someone stuck in survival mode. So how do you stop your mind from swinging? You pause. You breathe. And you choose. You choose your thoughts. You choose what you focus on. You choose what you believe. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about powerful thinking. It's about directing your mind like a conductor leads an orchestra. Every instrument plays because he decides it's time. That's how your thoughts should work. You don't let fear play unless you tell it to. You don't let doubt rise unless there's something to learn. You don't let negativity lead your day. When the mind is swinging, you live on the edge of almost happy, almost free, almost fulfilled. But you were not created to live in almost. You were built for certainty, for alignment, for peace. That comes when you stop letting every thought have a vote in your destiny. Stop handing out microphones to the noise. Just because a thought shows up doesn't mean it deserves to speak. And when you start to direct your mind, everything shifts. You stop reacting to life, and you start leading it. You stop doubting yourself, and you start developing yourself. You stop swinging between fear and freedom, and you finally walk in the strength of your decision. Balance begins when you decide to stop the swing. Let me tell you something. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Yeah, I said it. In a world that worships hustle, that praises the grind, that celebrates being constantly busy, we've forgotten the strength of stillness. Stillness. We've been fooled into thinking that if we're not always moving, always chasing, always pushing, we're falling behind. But the truth is, some of the greatest breakthroughs don't come when you're running. They come when you're rooted. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is strategy. See, when you learn to be still, you learn to listen. You tune out the noise of the world and start tuning into your own voice. And that's the voice that matters. That's the voice that knows where you're going, why you're here, and what you're capable of. But you can't hear it when your life is filled with constant motion, constant distraction, constant noise. You've got to learn to pause. You've got to learn to breathe. You've got to learn to stop reacting to everything and everyone around you and start responding from a place of power. That's what stillness gives you. It gives you clarity. It gives you control. It gives you the space to see what's real and what's just noise dressed up as urgency. You ever notice how muddy water clears up when you let it sit? That's your mind. When you're constantly shaking it up, running from problem to problem, thought to thought, fear to fear, you can't see anything. But when you sit in stillness, the mud settles, and when it settles, you see clearly. That's when vision returns. That's when purpose starts speaking again. Most people are scared of stillness because when they stop moving, all their doubts show up. All their fears start whispering. But listen to me, that's not a curse, that's a gift. Because now you can face it. You can deal with it. You can disarm it. You can finally stop running from it. Growth doesn't come from escape. It comes from confrontation. And you can't confront what you're too busy to see. Stillness is where your power lives. That's where your decisions get sharper. Your direction gets clearer. Your emotions get lighter. You don't need more activity. You need more activity. And alignment happens when you stop chasing noise and start listening to what's real. You can't build a strong foundation while you're sprinting. You can't sharpen your mind while you're constantly distracted. You can't find peace while you're stuck in panic mode. So slow down, not because you're giving up, but because you're getting ready. Because sometimes the next level doesn't require more movement, it requires more mastery. You want to know what's been holding you back. It's not your job. It's not your background. It's not the economy. It's not your education or your family or where you come from. It's the conversation going on inside your head. That's the real battlefield. That's the real fight. Because if you lose there, you lose everywhere else. Let's be real. Most people are being defeated by their own inner dialogue. You can't outwork a mind that's constantly tearing you down. You can't out-hustle a voice that keeps telling you you're not enough. You're not stuck because of life. You're stuck because of language. And I'm talking about the language you use when nobody's around. The way you speak to yourself when things go wrong. When you make a mistake. When you fall short. When life doesn't go according to plan. That's the moment where everything shifts because your mind listens to everything you say. Every word, every belief, every I can't, every I'm not ready, every what if I fail. Your mind takes it and builds your reality with it. And then we wonder why we feel anxious, why we feel lost. Why we feel like we're not moving. It's because we're feeding our minds fear and calling it truth. You've got to change the script. You've got to take back control of your inner conversation. And I'm not saying lie to yourself. I'm saying lead yourself. I'm saying lead yourself. Start speaking with intention. Start speaking with power. Start speaking to the version of you that you're becoming, not the version you've been stuck in. When you look in the mirror, don't rehearse your weaknesses. Remind yourself of your strength. When life gets heavy, don't say, I can't take it, take it. Say, I'm built for this. Shift the language and you shift the outcome. You wouldn't let someone talk to your child the way you talk to yourself. You wouldn't let someone speak to your best friend with the same criticism, the same judgment, the same doubt you dump on your own soul every day. Why do you think you deserve any less? You've got to protect your peace by protecting your words. The mind is a garden. It will grow whatever you plant. Plant doubt and you'll grow fear. Plant truth and you'll grow confidence, but you can't plant both and expect clarity. Expect clarity. You can't speak confusion and expect direction. So speak what you seek. Speak what you stand for. Speak what you believe in, even when you're still becoming it. Because your words create your world. And when you start speaking like someone who's already there, already whole, already strong, already aligned, your life will rise up to meet it. It all changes when you change the conversation. People keep saying, I'm trying to find balance, but let me ask you something. Where do you think it's hiding? Is it under the couch, in the next relationship, the next paycheck? No, balance isn't something you find. Balance is something you build. It's not floating around in the world waiting to be discovered. It's forged in the fire of your decisions, your habits, your boundaries. Balance is built every time you say no to what drains you and yes to what feeds you. It's built every time you choose to rest instead of run, focus instead of scroll, commit instead of quit. See, we want peace, but we don't want to pay the price for it. We want harmony, but we don't want to give up the noise. And that's the problem. People want the reward without the responsibility. Let me tell you, there's a price for peace. There's a cost to clarity. You have to build it brick by brick, choice by choice. You've got to be intentional about your time, your energy, your attention. Because if you don't build balance, life will build chaos. And life is always building something. The question is, are you the architect or are you just living in whatever shows up? Some people are living in a house of overwhelm, built from years of saying yes to everything but themselves. Every time you ignore your limits, every time you say it's fine or when it's not, every time you pour out and never refill, you're building imbalance. And then you wonder why you feel scattered, why you feel off. It's because the foundation isn't steady. And you can't build greatness on a shaky ground. Tatabete, you want balance? Start by drawing the line. Draw the line around your time. Draw the line around your peace. Draw the line around your purpose. Because what you allow is what will continue. And when you build balance, you don't just protect your energy, you protect your future. You give yourself space to grow, to think, to dream again. You give yourself permission to be human, not a machine. And that is not selfish, that's sacred. But building balance means being honest. Honest about what's no longer working. Honest about what's costing you more than it's giving. Honest about the things, the people, the patterns that are pulling you away from who you're called to be. That's not easy, but it's necessary. Because peace is not passive. Peace is power under control. It's strength with strategy. It's knowing who you are, what matters most, and refusing to compromise it. You're not going to stumble into balance. You've got to make it, craft it, protect it. And when you do, when you build it with intention, with courage, with love, life starts to feel different, calmer, clearer, stronger. Because now you're not being pulled by everything. You're being led by something, and that changes everything. Life will swing. Let's get that straight. This isn't about trying to stop the storms from coming. Storms will come. Pressure will come. Challenges, setbacks, betrayal, disappointment. Oh, they'll all show up like uninvited guests knocking on your door just when you thought things were finally getting better. But here's the key. The storm doesn't decide you. The swing doesn't break you unless you let it. You've got to learn to stand tall, even when the ground beneath you feels like it's shifting. See, most people are waiting for the storm to pass before they get strong. They say, I'll get myself together when things calm down. I'll focus when life gives me a break. I believe in myself when it gets easier. But life doesn't work like that. Strength isn't built in safety. It's built in the storm. It's in the pressure, the push, the pain where you find out what you're really made of. Standing tall doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you don't let fear sit in the driver's seat. It doesn't mean everything's perfect. It means that even when it's not, you are still here, still showing up, still choosing peace over panic, still choosing vision over victimhood. That's power. You have to understand emotional balance is not about always feeling good. It's about knowing how to stay grounded when things go bad. It's about having an anchor inside you so solid that when life starts swinging, you don't. When other people fold, you stand. When others panic, you breathe. When others break down, you break through. And that comes from the work you do before the storm shows up. You don't build a boat when the flood hits. You build it in the sunshine, so when the waters rise, you float. The work you do in stillness, in silence, in self-reflection, that's what holds you up when chaos comes. That's what keeps you from being tossed around by every emotion, every opinion, every setback. Stop giving your peace away to things you can't control. Stop letting temporary storms shake permanent truth. Your circumstances are not the source of your strength. Your decisions are. Your discipline is. Your focus is. The storm may come, but it doesn't get to decide who you are. And listen, standing tall doesn't mean standing alone. It means standing with your values, standing with your vision, standing with the version of you that refuses to quit, that refuses to shrink, that refuses to bow down to fear. Because once you realize you don't have to swing just because life does, that's when you become unshakable. You become the calm in your own chaos.